goes the space.
And the cart goes back to you.
Yeah.
This is incredible. This right here, I want a big screen.
Yes.
This is what community is all about. SABIL has barely even opened its doors. They're still unloading, they're still packing, they're moving into their brand new facility. So welcome, Christine.
Thank you
you so much for your extended everything. I mean, you've been a friend of SABIL for how long, Samar?
I would say 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. And so, like a good neighbor, she's the first one to show up. She's like, come on, I've got supplies, let's go.
She literally is the first one to show up.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And I love the new facility. It's absolutely fabulous.
Christine, tell us a little bit more about how your church has worked with SABIL for 3 years. That's extraordinary.
A member of our church, Andy Placido, attended a interfaith meeting and found out about SABIL and brought the information back to our church. And one of the committees our church has is a mission and outreach committee. And so we discussed that as being an outreach to the community and recruited different individuals who were willing to tutor. And then we had a drive similar to this where we brought in products that were not covered by food stamps.
And Christine, this is continuous, I understand. Like you've been supporting all along.
Well, periodically.
Okay.
But it is continual and having volunteers.
She tutors a widow, a family of 9 in Anaheim.
And the reason I took this family, I think is good to know, is that I myself had been a widow, and so I knew where she was coming from.
Yeah.
And I was a teacher for 35 years, so I felt that it was God calling me to pick this family, and it has been such a blessing because I never know what I'm going to be doing when I get there, but I've been tutoring English language, also college essays, because it's very difficult to write an essay when you're a second language person. Now I'm doing English with the mother. High school science and junior high history, so it goes on and on and on.
What has the reaction been from your church community members about helping the refugees and the Syrians? Because there's such a stigma with that.
Oh, I don't think there has been a negative reaction at all.
That's beautiful.
But we outreach a lot.
Okay.
So
they're used to that exchange.
They are, yes, but I don't, because we outreach a lot, both globally and locally, I think we're running out of people. Because it just about, we had a ministry fair on Sunday that Samar and Samar came to, and there were the whole room was filled with tables where you could serve in some capacity, either in the church or outside the church.
Well, you're serving as a prime example of not just within the community, but to other churches, and that reach, that outreach, I think is so important, because once you get them used to, you know, people from other cultures, other communities, other faiths, then it's like, we're all the same. It's so easy. Right. You know, it becomes easy.
Yeah, we're here to serve.
And then get the work done.
And we have the church behind us is a Episcopal church, St. Paul's. And so they host Sunday supper for the working poor.
Okay.
And there's no discrimination as far as anything. You don't necessarily have to be a working poor. You come, it's free, you are served, and then when dinner is over, you go through a grocery line, and so all the food that we get, like you, from Second Harvest, they can take that, and sometimes we're lucky enough to have clothing for them.
Christine, have you witnessed success stories yet? Is it still like this crisis, it's still so young that you haven't seen them get over the hump yet?
I have an aha moment.
Okay, come on, share the aha.
I was at the house one day tutoring, and the mother reverted back to speaking Arabic because she was on the phone, and she was crying, and she was beside herself, and I thought, oh my goodness, her mother's passed away, because her mother is still back in Iraq. She got off the phone and she communicates with the kids. So finally one of the kids said, no, it's nothing bad, it's really good. We got our green cards. Oh my, and then I got it. Then I could understand.
The level of the emotions.
And they said to me, everything good happens when you're here. So that was a reward I never thought I was going to get. So it was just awesome.
The fact that they associate you with good.
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so. Because I try to bring them things every week. You know, maybe it's toilet paper. 9 people and one family.
This is not toilet paper. This is angel dust.
That's really.
You're sprinkling angel dust wherever you go.
Right. So they have another family that tutors from a different church, a Mormon church that's up in Anaheim. But I guess because I've taught elementary all the way to high school, I'm more equipped to cover the different levels, because they have a 6-year-old all the way to 28.
Okay.
That's the spread.
So Christine, what we want from you is for you to really keep track of these little success stories and bring them back to us, because I think that's what we are hungry for. Even the refugees are hungry for. They need to, to hear those stories again and again, and that they are accomplishing and they're overcoming the impossible. And then we can get those stories and feed them out to the world. So that's what I'm going to ask of you. So just keep that in mind. Among your sprinkling your angel dust everywhere, your pixie dust, keep in mind that we need those stories, because.
And I'll go back to the people that have worked with SABIL, and we have more to come, because we have more new names.
Yes.
What's important is that they, the refugees need to feel like they're just not a burden on society, that they're bringing happiness to us as well. Like they're really, having them in the community teaches us humility, teaches us patience, and teaches us triumph. That they're working, they're getting their
they
lives.
really are trying very hard, and it's just sometimes it's not their fault. It's the system, and the system. It's so complicated, and most people don't understand that if we're born here, they've forgotten the struggles that our ancestors had to go through, because life is good for them. But just having to replace a work paper that I got involved in, and the 11 pages of documents that an immigrant has to weed through and try to figure out where they're going to get the money.
And every line is a fear. Like, what if I fill this line out wrong?
That's right. Exactly.
Well, there's a case that just we're dealing with right now, that somebody was supporting this immigrant. I don't think he was even a refugee. He was an immigrant, filling out the paperwork, and they missed something. They just missed something small, and their work permit was denied. So now they're here without work permit, refiling the paperwork, which could take 3 to 6 months.
Sure.
And that's a period of 3 to 6 months of unemployment, and not providing.
So devastating.
And because of the way the law changed with the food stamps, there's I think it's 20 hours of labor that has to be recorded before they can get full food stamps. So it's just this cycle that says down, be down, stay down, and it's wrong. It's so wrong.
Right.
It really, it hurts my heart.
So what's the saying that, feed a man a fish a day,
and he'll,
and then teach him how to fish.
Don't just give it to them, but teach them how to fish.
So you're the Fisherman's Academy.
Trying to. But it's hard, because it's been a long time since I've been in high school. The rules have changed a lot. So
no. The rules are here.
Yeah, that's true.
The rules are here. And that is...
I feel like I should be a traveling roadshow, because if I had my printer with me and I had my laptop with me, I probably could feed out more right then and there, but they have to wait a week before I come back. Then I have my list of all the things.
We can get you a printer for your car, and
I'll equip you. So
I need a van. I'll just take my van, pull it up to the door.
Angel on wheels.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Well, there's always like FedEx stores, and like where the Kinko stores were, now they're all FedEx stores, so you can always go to those.
Here's another funny story. The first year that I went, somebody had donated them a turkey for Thanksgiving. They had no idea that the turkey took 3 days to defrost. And so we got that done. And then they didn't have any idea that it needed a relatively large pan, and they have a very small kitchen. So off I drove off to the grocery store, get the right pan, and of course I had to get a pumpkin pie to boot, so they could have pumpkin pie with their dinner.
Of course.
So that was my first.
Yeah. Well,
I'm really over my head here.
We love the turkey stories because of all the immigrants. Like you go to Second Harvest and around Thanksgiving, that's all you have is turkey.
But it's not a turkey. Turkey is not a food that they
are not familiar with.
No.
Yeah.
And they eat pieces of the turkey. Like,
right.
Okay, well, we need to cut the thigh, cut the wings. So yeah, I think we've all experienced.
Yeah, and I had to make sure that they took all the stuff out of the inside without
the
cooking
plastic
it, and the gizzards and all of that.
Right. Yeah. Christine, I think one of the most beautiful things that we really are learning together is that we pick and choose the best of all of our cultures, and we strive to be that. So when we first came, my father was, saying, pick the best of each of the cultures. For example, I shouldn't say this because I was late coming to this interview, but punctuality.
It's an every culture.
So that's a big issue as well. And obviously I still have not learned that. But, I think that's the beauty of this, is that we truly do evolve as a community, as a culture, as individuals. Each that we better ourselves by learning and saying, wow, this is something that I strive for, and this is something. And there's something about, my culture that I don't like, and maybe it's the hyperbole, exaggerations, that we kind of go over,
Okay.
And, we're able to each culture learns from each other, and obviously we can teach you how to cook.
Well, food is the melting pot or the leveling.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is something that we always offer. This is move-in day. Tell us, Samar, what is your vision? What do you want everywhere?
Well, we want organization and we want space, because we want people to be able to come in, feel like they're in a supermarket model, dignified, collecting, and going shopping. So this is going to be our site to have all the electricity, all the refrigerators, where we have the meat, the poultry, and the dairy products.
The dairy products, of course.
Anything that needs to be refrigerated, even fruits. And then what they do is really come, turn around, and go shopping as if you're shopping in a supermarket.
It's light and airy, and it's just got a beautiful, optimistic feel to it.
So you're picking up a shopping cart like you would do, and you're actually going down the aisle, and we can
pick and choose. Tomatoes, peanut butter, jam, corn. Amazing. So it's just a matter of what you feel, works for you.
Salad dressings. We have pasta. We have
oatmeal.
We have tuna. We have so really anything that you would shop in a regular supermarket. We have chicken broth,
tuna. So there is a good quality selection of food. Amazing sauces for marinating.
Right, and then here you have the coffee. In every house, you have to have a coffee.
Some of the spices.
We have nuts.
Good quality nuts. Look. The selection is pretty darn good too. You've got the Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. Organic.
You've got the organics with different ones. You've got the Panera, the hazelnut creams, and this is good stuff. This isn't just, kind of food. So
and
good
then
snacks.
We have Girl Scouts. Every household has to have a Girl Scout, and we definitely have Girl Scout cookies.
This is absolutely wonderful. And the chocolates and the goodies.
So these are extra things that we give. However, when we are all packed and ready, you have tons of produce.
Right. So the produce is going to be here in the middle.
It's going to be here in the middle.
Wonderful.
So really, the amount of produce, and we want to provide healthy food.
Of course. So Samar, back here, what are you planning on having here?
Here we're going to have really the small fruit shop.
Now this is new.
Yes, this is something new. It's our business model. So we're starting to collect items so we can go through it.
I've always wanted a red bike.
Yes. And look, we even have Kate Spade handbag. Kate Spade bag. So we have really nice items that are being donated to SABIL, so we can have a subsidized income coming in. So that's going to be an operation. And for healthy living, We have
Summer, it's broken.
It is? Good. You don't weigh anything.
It's broken. No! No!
Is it broken?
No.
No, it's just that you weigh too much.
It's not possible that I could weigh that much. No, no.
Don't worry. We'll fix it by next time. All right, so let's go take a tour of the office space.
So what's upstairs?
Upstairs is just storage to be able to have papers, banners that we want to have them in a secure look.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm excited. Come on, let's go see the inside of the office. The floor is beautiful. The windows here.
This is it's still in the process.
Junk drawer.
You would think it's a junk drawer. It's ASA's IT room.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is technically the reception room?
Yes.
And this is where it's not open right now.
Where people will come in.
So this is so they sign in here?
Well, this is if you're seeing somebody in the office. Otherwise, everything for food pantry would be
Strictly from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is our reception area for the offices. And here we're working on a SABIL office. So this is going to be the SABIL office. And we have a window. So we're very, very blessed to have a window. Here is going to be our mental health office.
Right.
And we have another window.
That is wonderful.
And
it's already cozy.
And these are additional offices that we'll probably have them rented for community members to bring in an extra income for SABIL.
Right, to offset the costs of the rent. Okay.
And
another office.
Another office. And a fifth office. So we have a total of 5 offices.
Wow, mashallah.
Amazing.
This is beautiful. I am so excited about this room right here because I have a vision already of how to utilize this for the youth, presentations, motivation, artwork. Yes. This is incredible. This right here, I want a big screen.
Yes.
So big projector. Isa, get on it.
Today we are here with Samar Aziz, and today's an incredible day because they are moving into their brand new SABIL facility here in Tustin, California. And for those of us that have witnessed this amazing journey, it's just a miracle. So alhamdulillah, we have this amazing woman who is backed by an incredible team of volunteers, all ages. And Samar, you have to start from the beginning and tell us how did all of this start? When was your aha moment? What happened? And tell us.
I think
look at that twinkle in her eye.
Just remembering.
That's joy.
That's remembering. It brings back memories of great love and passion for what we do. We've always helped people, and it was a passion to help everybody that's in need. However, right around the Syrian war, things have started to really highlight the importance of having an organization to help Muslims in the United States, that we did not have that organization.
We did not have the resources like most of the other churches and organizations. They're well established.
Right.
And in our generation, when we came to the United States, there were hardly any masjids or schools or any of those facilities. And so I think that's what it was, is that we're kind of a few generations behind.
And nothing was organized. We all gave out money. We were generous. The community has always been generous, giving out, $100, $1,000, projects to be funded. We're there. However, we wanted something to be more structured. We wanted to be a 501c3 organization,
which is an official nonprofit organization structure, and it's dictated very clearly how it needs to be handled and managed.
Right. And we were thinking in the future that we want grants. We want to be able to get foundation grants so other people would be able to give us donations, would fund certain projects, and that individual would get the tax break at the same time.
Wonderful. So when did the moment happen?
There was influx of Syrian refugees, influx of Iraqi refugees, Somali refugees, Afghani refugees, and we realized that we needed to hit the ground running and be able to support them.
Right.
And we were just around the kitchen table, just talking. And like everything starts around food and around the kitchen table, really, among friends. And we sat down and I said, I wanted to start a nonprofit.
Because I remember specifically you had started like a blanket drive. And, you know, so we were literally driving blankets and pillows to your house, dropping them off at your door. And we didn't even, you know, say, Summer, you know, we left a you know, love care package.
And, you know, I'm very passionate about people leaving things in front of my door. Really. If anybody has to know Summer one day, it's going to be always leaving things by my door. And even my kids know this. It's like, you know, Mom, you're known by leaving stuff in front of my door. So one of the things that we had was really campaigns was blankets for Syria.
I remember that.
And it was formula for children.
And that was 7 years ago. And now I'm blown away. So this is phenomenal. Congratulations. Alf Mabruk. This is amazing. So take us to the first time you opened a facility. That was the one kind of in Fountain Valley?
No, the one was before that was in Santa Ana.
In Santa Ana.
Edinger.
Okay. So yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. And so then it started with every Sunday that you would have kind of like a food.
It was once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Wow.
Once a month.
SubhanAllah.
And we started out with food that we actually packaged for people. We put in boxes, and we would put a bag of rice, a bag of oil,
basic staples.
Basic staples in a box, and people would come, and we would just get their names, so we get to know who they are and just how many people in their family.
So you kept like a database, at least, of, you know, letting them know when, where, how.
Right. Okay. And family and members, so we know how many people in the family. And we gave them a box of food.
Right.
That we started out.
Right. And then the community had started growing, and then it went beyond the Muslims. It went beyond the Arab community, beyond the refugee community, that it was, you know, interfaith,
right?
You know, multicultural. So that was beautiful.
And wherever you go, there is going to be people from the community. You have Latinos from the community coming, asking for food. You have Asians that are part of the immigrant community that is also asking for food.
Right.
So the community grows. It's just subhanAllah.
How did you recruit the younger generation? Because you have an amazing team of young, enthusiastic, passionate team members that they can't wait for the food drives where they just come in early on the weekend. How do you do that?
Well, I think I have to attribute it to my children and their friends. Because whenever you have people that have always been in your house, that again eat in your house, celebrate Ramadan in your house and the holidays, and they work together and have fun, they come.
Okay, so this has just been this evolution of our Orange County community, just kind of working together from the days of, you know, working with New Horizon and the other mosques and the masjids, that they just kind of grew into each other and matured. And now they just kind of, you know, mobilize very quickly.
Right, and we have people who became part of the Girl Scouts through Minaret Academy. So we recruit people from the Girl Scouts to help us. So really, as our children are growing and involved in their high school, they needed hours to be able to compensate for their graduation. We participated in that.
What was the most difficult moment in the last 7 years?
The most difficult moment, I think, the most difficult moment would be outgrowing our spaces.
Ooh, that's really?
We've always, yes.
I think that would be such a wonderful, you know, where you're bountiful, like, mashallah, if you have so much,
yes,
that like, that's it. We have to grow.
Well, because it happened so fast that we would be established in one location, we'd do all the work, and after a year, you've outgrown it. It was like, we just got to be comfortable. You know, we had issues of parking. We had issues of police coming and saying you're obstructing traffic because people were waiting. We had issues of there wasn't enough space for something. So over the past 7 years, we've moved 3 times.
Wow.
From Santa Ana to Anaheim to Costa Mesa to now we're in Tustin. So we went from an 800 square foot to something that was like 1,500 square feet to an 1,800 square feet, and now we're at 4,500 square feet. And as I'm looking around, I'm really thinking we're going to outgrow this. We're going to outgrow this. So this has been one of our biggest challenges, is outgrowing our facilities.
What a beautiful cursed blessing. I love it.
Yes.
So, okay, now here's the secret. SABIL has started as the necessities, the feeding of the basic staples in our life. How did you transition to mental health? And this is what's crazy, is that, this is like a food pantry, a food bank, providing supplies. And then all of a sudden, you established SABIL has to help with the mental emotional health of our community. Mm-hmm. What, why, how?
We are always creative. We're constantly thinking, where is the void in our community and how we can fill that void. We don't want to be duplicating other efforts. There's a lot of communities that are doing a great job. However,
organizations,
yes, organizations. However, we've seen the blessings of being able to have the youth going into mental health. So you've seen that grow. And at the same time, you've seen our community challenges grow. And just from on a sad point, but one of our community members had lost her son to a suicide. And that was a person that was educated, had a job, had stability, had access to doctors. However, gotten in a situation that couldn't handle his schizophrenia and was not able to handle, the disease. And to me, mental health is a disease. And that was really the pivotal point, to be able to come and say, wow, if that person was able to have access, what about all the other community members and refugees that have no access? How can we support them?
Right, and they are the ones that are dealing with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Those are the ones that have been displaced, that have lost everything, starting all over. They're forced into a new culture and community where they feel, lost. They're the most susceptible, they're the most vulnerable. So it's almost like a double-edged sword that we need to help them immediately because they're emergency. It's almost like triage. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of crazy because, you think of food as the necessary staple, but then again, mental emotional health also is rising so hard and heavy that I am so proud of you and SABIL for having done an incredible job in growing that part as well, because it's easy to get lost in the shuffle of food, mm-hmm. and clothing and furniture. But you are now the liaison between the mental health and the suppliers of the mental health community as well. So,
well, I think we were generous to be able to get a grant from a community member, mm-hmm. And that grant really, it was a $50,000 grant that till now it's supporting our growth.
You're stretching that.
We're stretching it because it can go very fast. And
now inside the facility here in Tustin, there is an office that they've designated as the mental health, so that if somebody needs to have an appointment to be able to talk and work out, we also have the community members that are mm-hmm. offering their services as well. So it's kind of like this joint liaison.
Right. And the other thing that we were very big on is a wellness program. So we've been having quarterly wellness programs to be able to come and just, have discussions in the community.
Emotional skills, anger management, working through things. I did attend one of these wellness seminars, and it was at your house in your backyard with beautiful tents. It was incredible, and with yoga, and it was just really beautiful. And so thank you so much for bringing that to our community, because like all communities, I think the Middle Eastern community is about 30 years behind where America was before Oprah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Oprah set us free, and now we as Americans in the Western world, we understand this and we can talk openly and freely without the stigma of, hiding things behind, not airing our dirty laundry. But now you are bringing this to the forefront in our community, which is so taboo. It's so difficult.
And we want to remove that stigma. And right now we offer at least 50 hours a month pro bono hours to people for mental health.
Amazing.
And the amount of mental health issues that people are struggling from, especially the youth. And I think that's what my love is really our community and having a strong foundation to support the youth assimilating in the United States.
Right.
So whatever the American culture is suffering from, our culture is suffering from at the same time.
True. Yeah.
As long as we recognize that there is this suffering and there is this disease, that we can help our community, I think we will grow faster, we will excel, and we'll be open up for huge possibilities.
And succeed.
Yeah.
Summer, give me your vision. Close your eyes right now and just give me that vision of 5 years.
The vision I went to one of the Christian organizations right here in Tustin, and what they had is something that when I left, I said one day SABIL would be like that.
Inshallah.
It's on an 1.5 acre land, and they have a huge building, and the building houses probably 150 people, 150 families, and they offer them an apartment buildings, and they offer them jobs in the communities or in that complex that they have.
That's here in Tustin?
That's right here in
Wow.
Tustin. They also have a medical facility in there that people can go, have dental work, have ophthalmology work, they can get vaccines, they can have...
I've never heard of this.
And at dinner time, they all get together and they have dinner time together, and they do Bible studies, and they get support from...
So it's like a commune.
It's a commune, and
Wow.
my vision is to provide something like that for our community, to be able to support them on a daily basis.
And transitional.
So
The
after
bridge.
a year and a half, they're out in the community working and prospering.
That would be amazing for, people that go through the struggles, that they just need that bridge to compensate. Mashallah.
While you're still doing your furniture, you have your food pantry, you have the mental health, because I believe that mental health and spirituality is really a combination.
Beautiful.
And in order to combine these together under one roof, and showing them what healthy families are like, they can model that healthy families for their families as well.
Beautiful. So Summer, this is incredible. I know you get a lot of individual donations. It's so grassroots. But really, how do you really just handle the money aspect of this? And it's so strictly managed because it's a nonprofit. Can you share with us exactly how you're doing it? Because I know there's always questions and people are always shy to ask.
Well, money is always, it has to be handled properly to be able to fit our 501c3 criteria. So our budget right now is over $300,000, which is, we started out
Those are your basic expenses for the year?
This is our revenue that's coming in on a yearly basis. And we started out with $10,000, so $300,000 is big. So alhamdulillah, we get a lot of zakat money, we get sadaqah money from the community. The masjids help at the same time. And I would say...
And you've only received one grant for $50,000 so far.
One grant for $50,000, and we received another grant for food for $40,000. Okay. That was last year.
So you should be looking for grant writers.
So we're always looking for grant writers, because right now we do it from in-house.
Right.
So all of that is done by us. So you can see the blessings of what we have, because we're getting it just through a board member that's writing the grants.
Right.
But a big percentage of our money, I would say 50% of it, is allocated towards supporting rent, subsidizing rent, and paying utility bills, helping with car insurance, transportation for people, helping people paying for educational.
And how many people are on salary now?
We actually have less than 2. We might have like 1.5.
So you have one full-time, one part-time person on salary, and they're the ones that are helping organize and clean and keep the facility working.
And social worker, yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's all strictly volunteers.
That is incredible. So you're on a constant fundraising mission. Do you have corporate companies that offer? No?
No. No. We're looking for corporate. The progression has been amazing. The journey has been great.
I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of the whole community. The community is proud of all of you, and you're a shining beacon among everybody. So it can happen. It started at the kitchen table 7 years ago, and look, this is amazing. So for all of you volunteers out there, for all of you kids, teenagers that have been there on Sunday mornings and on the weekends, and all the IT people, the fundraisers, this is what you've done.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all of you at SABIL.